Yo, what's good, y'all? I would like to welcome y'all back to episode 71 of the Von Talks podcast. Today, on which you're recording this podcast, is July 3rd, 2026. And first, I would like to say shout out to my current, past, and new listeners. Y'all already know I highly appreciate you. Shout out to everybody listening to this podcast on their favorite platforms. Before we get into the show, feel free to follow me on all of my socials. You can follow me anywhere because I am literally everywhere. You've had me. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. You already know I gotta ask you, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing well. I hope your weekend has been great. I hope the week has been prosperous for you. And I hope that, I hope everything is going good for you, man, especially with all this craziness going on in the world. And, on top of that, you got to worry about your own personal life and then people that's close to you. Things just be happening on a daily basis, man. A lot of shit that's out of your control. But I will say, things that are out of your control, you ain't even got to worry about that shit, man. So, listen, I hope you're doing good. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad to be recording and dropping another episode for y'all. I really do love doing this shit. I've been thinking about for the last week, like, should I start implementing, how I asked you how you doing today? I just did. And I might want to start asking like, yo, did you invest? But I might leave that for like the investment portion of the pod. I might. It depends. It depends. And it's just to be not, and you don't have to answer me. I mean, you can in the comments. I would highly appreciate it, but you don't have to answer me. You can just answer yourself because it's a way to, I guess, help you stay accountable, especially if you are wanting to save money, save more money, and invest. You understand what I'm saying? So I might just want to ask, I don't know if I want to do it at the beginning or should I just go ahead and wait for the investment portion of the pod and ask like, though, did you invest today? Did you save today? And why not? Why didn't you? You understand what I'm saying? And if you are coming up with more excuses than real life things happening in your life, but you still went out and bought something from the store, $5 worth of whatever the case may be, $10, $7 here on snacks and shit like that for the week, then you know you wrong. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to wait till the investment portion of the pod, man, because I think I got a lot to say on that. So let's go ahead and get into the gaming portion of the pod. Now, look, out of all the crazy shit that's been going on in the world, y'all already know, man, gaming is taking a big hit. Again, a lot more important crazy shit going on, but we talk about games over here. More specifically, though, the AAA market. And I feel like a lot of people are not paying attention to that point. Like, it seems like the indie market is not every indie game, but more indie games now more than ever has been very successful. It's a lot of the AAA games, aside from like Nintendo, even though they've been tweaking, even though, they ain't been dropping no games for the Nintendo Switch 2. It ain't really nothing interesting on that motherfucker to play right now. Even though they ass been fucking up, they seem like the company out of Microsoft and PlayStation or Sony that have it together when it comes to the gaming space. They have it more together than everybody else. Microsoft, not so much. Xbox in particular. I had made a prediction on one of my videos that I would not be surprised if the Xbox Game Pass go away. And why do I say that? It's because they have been shutting down a shit ton of studios over the last couple of years. They are moving. I think they are going to be driving AI more than ever within the company of Xbox. They just closed down 3 well-known studios. I believe it was 4. It was Ninja Theory, it was Compulsion Games, and it was the other studio that made Kiln and Psychonauts 1 and 2. I can't remember their name. Every time, I don't know what it is, but their name always slips my mind. It was that studio, and it seems like that they're gonna have even more mass layoffs over the summer, which this is when mass layoffs happen. Because I know for like the food space, a lot of businesses be slowing up for restaurants because people are going out of town. You understand what I'm saying? Motherfuckers are going out to the beach, especially now in this economy. Just people are spending money a lot less than previous years because we're gonna talk about that a little later. But you already know why. I repeat it all the time on the pod. But motherfuckers are just spending less, and with Microsoft, they looking to turn a profit. It was rumored that Microsoft had wanted to turn a profit of like 17% above the normal, above the average that gaming. Normally, I believe gaming is between 17 and 21% in profits on a return within the gaming space. Microsoft wanted to do like 15% more than that or something like that. Like, it was something crazy. And it's like, boy, how are y'all expecting to hit these numbers, especially with the Xbox Game Pass not really making them any money like that? And I think that's coming to be tried and true for sure, because they took Call of Duty off of They said the next Call of Duty will not be on the Xbox Game Pass. Now, we don't know how long it's gonna last, but I believe this goes to show them relying on one game to turn a profit to subsidize Xbox was not going to cut it. You understand what I'm saying? Most people went out and bought Call of Duty. People ain't really on the Game Pass like that. Game Pass has a lot of games, but they not even marketing them like that either. Like, their marketing is fucking god awful. And I'm not here to improve upon their marketing because they not paying me for that shit, but I'm just saying their marketing is really garbage. Honestly, it is. As aside from the little shit that Sony and Nintendo be doing, Microsoft don't push no small games and none of that shit, man. Like, for example, Expedition 33. The only reason why that game was successful was because of the internet. It wasn't because of Xbox. Xbox didn't really push that game like that. But man, to this day, I still think about it. The music was fire. I can't wait to get the vinyl for that whole. Hopefully, I can get them the limited edition joint, because there's a lot more that come with it. And listen, it was a great game, bro. If you have not played Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, it's made of some old Ubisoft devs and new talent. And man, they meshed so well, and they made a fucking man. Listen, I'm not gonna call it a masterpiece, but they made one hell of a game. Story was on point. Combat was on point. The open world, the way you traverse through it was, man, it was fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you. So, yeah, man, they didn't push that game though, and they don't do that with a lot of their games. And I feel like, and when they had went up in price with the Xbox Game Pass by like 50%, that pissed off a lot of people. They wasn't made that. A lot of people unsubscribed from that shit. A whole lot of folks, a whole lot of folks is not fucking with that shit, which in turn, they wasn't making that much money. So going back to what I was saying earlier, my bad, I hit the mic, I don't know if you heard that, but back to what I was saying earlier, I really don't think that the Xbox Game Pass is gonna be around much longer. I'm gonna give it like another 5 years. And especially because any studio is liable to be going under. I believe Obsidian, the people that made the Outer Worlds 2, that didn't really do too good, but I think that's because they was talking about, starting with the Outer Worlds, games are gonna be $80, and the internet was not fucking with it. And I think that hurt the Outer Worlds. You understand what the Outer Worlds 2? But the Outer Worlds is a great game. I will be playing the Outer Worlds 2. Haven't been in a rush to play it, but Obsidian is a studio that's they make great games. That is in fear of being closed, and it's a few more studios, man, that's gonna be hurt by Microsoft, bro. Like, man, it ain't looking too good. It ain't looking too good at all. Then they talking about they might the next Xbox might have a diskless hard drive. Might have a hard drive, a diskless drive. So that means you won't be able to buy discs to put into the Xbox. Meaning they're gonna go the same route that Sony did, because I don't know if y'all heard, especially if y'all ain't been keeping them on the gaming news that I've been doing, putting out every day, then your mouth might drop when you hear this shit. Sony said by 2028, at the start of 2028, January 2028, they will no longer be producing physical discs. And now and the rumors that came out, the same thing about the next Xbox, and I think they're gonna go all in on that shit. They are gonna go discless. We won't be able to buy any more disc for our video games. And I knew this day would come. I spoke about this a couple years ago when I first started making this game and new stuff, or even earlier than that. I'm like, yo, physical media phase, and now, you know, we need to buy physical media now more than ever. Like, I collect vinyl and I collect comic books. You feel me? I haven't bought a physical video game in a while, which I will be buying a physical for Expedition 33. Like, I toned it down to like, okay, I'm only gonna buy physicals for joints that I like. You feel me? And I'm just not gonna open them. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep them, because man, I can see now, like, oh, a copy of such and such is now going for X, Y, and Z because this game that got wiped out of a library. You feel me? Like, and this is the big problem with everything going digital, because we don't own anything. Bad enough, we already don't own the license to the disc that we buy, because you still gotta download the game from the internet once you pop the game in. But it's the fact that you still have the physical copy. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how it is if they lock behind. I don't know if they lock, like, I don't know if they. Let me see how I can word this. When you put the disc inside the game, inside the console, and you download it from the internet, I don't know if you can do it on another console. I don't know if they lock that away behind some type of licensing agreement or whatever the case may be. So maybe the disc will become useless after one time of being used, but at least you still have that physical thing, especially for something that you don't like. I mean, especially for something that you do like. You understand what I'm saying? This is a big issue, a growing issue that a lot of people have been talking about for quite some time now. You understand what I'm saying? Now we are really here, and it's starting with gaming, that, you know, the next generation of consoles, you won't be able to buy a disc for them. And again, the big issue with that is that you have no control over anything. You can't resell the game. You can't let your homie or your brother or your sister, whoever, borrow the game. You fully don't own it now. You understand what I'm saying? You won't be able to see this shit's in bargain bins. I don't even know if that's still a thing. Remember, we used to go to the bargain bins, bro. You go pick out a game that's like $3-4. You ask your parents, oh, let's go into GameStop. You find one of them games, you pay one. A game that was like that I still think about to this day that I did buy a physical copy of was New Legends, the game that came out back in like 2003. I believe, on our original Xbox, or 2002, one of the ones. And I remember playing it back in like 03, 04. I remember that shit because I had an original Xbox, and I remember playing on the original Xbox back in like 03, 04, 05. You understand what I'm saying? Right before the 360 head came out. That's how I played Max Payne and a few other games. Splinter Cell. I had quite a few games on the original Xbox. 2K. Man, yeah, we had like a decent little stack, man. I wish we kept them bitches, man. But we traded them hoes in so that we can upgrade to get the Xbox 360. You know, motherfucker grew up post, so that's just what it was. I wish we kept all that shit, bro. But I had found New Legends, and I was like, this is a game when I played when I was a kid. I don't have an original Xbox, but at least I bought that game. We won't have that luxury anymore. You understand what I'm saying? And Sony already done wiped 551 movies from the library. So if you bought any movies on PlayStation for whatever reason, and I did a short video on it. Go ahead, go check it out. Go look for it if you want to. But it was like 551 movies because it was a licensing deal it was a licensing deal that ended with some company. I forgot what their name. It starts with a C, I believe. And they wiped the whole library. So if you bought any game, any movies that was in that list of movies that was from that studio or from that company, you won't be able to watch it no more. And guess what? You lost out on money. Now that leaves me to think, with a greedy ass corporation like Sony, like Microsoft, you know, only thing they truly care about, Nintendo too, but they truly care about that green, boy, that money. You are just a number to these people. They don't give a fuck about you. They can be like, okay, you know what? Look, like what's okay? Hold on, I don't want to jump the gun, but what is really stopping them from wiping your library of video games? What makes you truly believe or fully think or have full faith in these companies that it would not happen to you, that this would not happen in such a manner? Why do you think that? I had a few people in my comments talking about why would they this is movies of such and such that they probably didn't even watch or people barely bought, whatever the case may be. Whoop-de bam. Like, boy, you thinking here with it. Like, you want to dick suck these companies so bad. You're here with it. You're so like, let's get up here, man. Let's come here with it. You so motherfuckers are not thinking out the box with this shit. Like, bruh, what is stopping Sony from doing that with your video games? They full on can. They can be like, you know what? We see that you bought this game, and this is just a possibility. And if I'm thinking about this, best believe they in the board thinking about this shit too. They can be like, you know what? You bought, let's just say the next God of War. LaFay. You bought God of War LaFay at $70, $80, how much they decide to charge it for. And we're gonna get into that as well. And even more why they're gonna have full control over shit, right? They're gonna be like, okay, you bought God of War LaFay for $70, $80, $90. How much Sony wanna place it on their store for, right? You bought it, we can see that you ain't like it. How we know you ain't like it? Because you only put in 3 hours on it. They're gonna be able to see that. I think that's a new update. You are able to see how many hours you can you can see how many hours that you put into a game, just like on Steam. I don't know, I believe Xbox, they've been doing it too. So everybody has it. Or if not, then they do have I think they do, and they do have a little section on the games that says how that tells you how long to beat, because they partnered up with the how long to beat website or whatever, and it's pretty cool. And really, and that determines, I'm gonna either get this game now or later. But that's besides the point. They gonna be like, yo, you put in 3.5 hours on God of War LaFay back in, I don't know, whenever 22, let's just say March 2027, and you ain't played it since. It is now December 2027. Let's go ahead and take it off your library because you obviously don't like it. You just shelled out $70, $80, $90, $100 for some shit they don't even own. And they can do that. Just think that is a thing, bruh. That can actually happen to you. On top of they doing the dynamic pricing bullshit. What was dynamic pricing, Vaughn? Oh, you don't know? Let me tell you. They basically can charge, let's just say there's somebody in the same region as you. Somebody right next door to you up the block. You can see God of War LaFay for $70, $80, $90, $100, and they can see God of War LaFay for $50, $40. Why are they doing this? I have no clue. It's anti-consumer as fuck. It is not fair for the whole market. You feel me? That shit is fucking crazy, man. Like, and they going up in price. They talking about the next gen consoles for the PS6 and whatever the next Xbox is gonna be called. That shit is gonna, it takes like, especially with everything going up in price as far as hardware and shit like that, it's gonna cost, right now, it costs $960 to make. And Sony had came out and said that they are not planning to take a significant loss on the next gen consoles, whatever that means, because they are already selling out a loss right now. Valve with their Steam machine, they said they not taking a loss on their shit. You understand what I'm saying? So they going for $1,000 up to damn near $1,500 for that whole thing. You feel me? For a 2 terabyte plus a controller. You understand me? And that's just right now, the price to make these things now. By the end of this year, it's expected to go up by, I think, like another 30% or something like that. That means these consoles are going to cost even more to make, $1,100 to make, right? So if they cost $1,100 to make, maybe $1,200 to make, and they said they're not going to take a significant loss on the next gen consoles, then that shit is going to start maybe at $1,000 plus. Might start at $1,100 plus for the PS6. You understand me? You might as well just go ahead and save up for a PC. No matter how long it'll take, you will have better options, right? Because you ain't got to deal with the dynamic pricing. You ain't got to deal with paying for online. And there's other storefronts that you can buy from other than Steam. You have the Epic Games Store. You got GOG. and there's a couple others. Fanatic. You can buy from other websites like Fanatical. You can get a lot of cheaper games. You can get way more game. Excuse me. You can get way more game sales. It's much cheaper to be a gamer on PC. Now you will pay an ample amount of money up front, but you have way more options. And if you wanted to get into the ecosystem of SteamOS or whatever the case may be, then you can either buy a peripheral like this, like a Steam machine or the Steam Deck, even though that shit is expensive as fuck as well. You can buy the Steam Deck and you ain't gotta just be at your computer all the time. Or you could buy a mini PC, or you can build a PC that's probably similar in size to the Steam machine, that's more powerful and might be on par with the pricing. You understand what I'm saying? You can definitely do that. So, and you can have that motherfucker in your living room, and you could use a controller. You feel me? Like, you could do whatever you want on that motherfucker, and you can have it in your living room, or you can have it at your desk, however you decide to play it. But there's plenty more options when it comes to console. I mean, when it comes to PC gaming anyway. And then PC gaming is like moving up as far as the amount of people that are shifting to PC gaming. Like, PC gaming is growing faster than ever. I think by 2030, I think they're looking for PC gaming to be damn near 50% or more than 50% of the gaming market. And then mobile is already leading the charge. They like 44% of the total gaming market. You understand what I'm saying? And PC is getting up there. So listen, man, at this point in time, oh, that's what I meant to hit on too. A lot of these games, yeah, you still will have a physical copy, but if we not making physical copies at all, at least you still have a chance to own these games. And like with GOG, you own these games. If you have GOG, you could download that motherfucker right now and you will own everything, bro. And they have game preservation, so it's a lot of old games that you can buy on there. You feel me? And you ain't got to worry about them shits being taken off your library. Even with some games, like if they was to be delisted off of the store, you would still have it in your library. You understand what I'm saying? It won't be like that with these next gen consoles. They have full control over how you game and how you manage your gaming space. You feel me? So, you know, we just in crazy times, man. We really are. We are in crazy times. We starting to see it's the end of an era. Honestly, it's the end of an era. So if you do want to get more physical stuff, I say continue to buy vinyl. I try to support mom and pop shops because they gonna be hurt by this as well. You understand what I'm saying? I try to support them as much as I can, man. I go to these record stores that ain't owned by that big corporations or nothing like that. Like, I stay out of Walmart, I stay out of Target, and I go to these record stores and I go buy vinyls from them. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I try to go to a mom and pop little gaming shop, you feel me? And I try to go buy a little physical media that they have there as much as I can. You understand? It's just crazy, bruh. The only positive I see coming out of this is less waste. That's it. That's the only positive I see coming out of this. Is it a huge positive? No, because we have other things that's way more wasteful. But, you know, especially when it comes to clothes and all types of shit, because fashion is one of the worst when it comes to it. But we'll talk about that another day. It'll be less waste. You feel me? Copies that ain't being sold, I don't know what happens to them, but we won't see a lot of that shit in landfills. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't got to worry about people throwing their disc away for whatever reason, because that shit is not biodegradable. That shit it takes years for it to break down into the earth and only causes more harm into the earth and shit like that. And it's a lot of plastic. So I think that's like the only positive that I could really see coming from this. But if you are one of the ones that collect media, you ain't got to worry about that either because you have all of that shit in your house. You're not thinking about throwing none of that shit away. So I try to go to many comic book stores to buy comics that I can. I try to go and if they do sell accessories in there as well, I try to buy some things that I think is cool. Like I try not to support any big conglomerates like that anymore, bro, because the small businesses, they're gonna need us more than ever. We don't want to give up full control to these corporations like Target, Walmart, Sony, Microsoft. You understand what I'm saying? Because if we do control how they distribute things, then they are going to control how they price them. And a lot of people, they're not gonna have any choice but to buy from these places. Like, don't be surprised, bro, if we start to see some artists out here that can only sell their stuff at Walmart because they gave a lifetime deal of $1.2 billion. Now, if you want any physical media, you got to go to Walmart for it. You can't get it nowhere else. All distribution from where it's being made will be shipped to all Walmarts. So don't be surprised if we start to see some shit like that, bro. Because these small businesses are going out of business. You understand? Because they're descending. Don't be surprised, bro. It's nasty out here. I think that's just something that y'all should think about, man. And then on top of that, Grand Theft Auto 6, they won't have a disc. There won't be it's gonna be straight digital. So let's say because I don't know if Sony has a licensing agreement with Rockstar to put their games on the platform, but let's just say they do, because they have it with the movie joint that just ended. Let's say they have a undisclosed partnership with Rockstar. Like, in order for y'all to put y'all games on us, we got to have a licensing agreement to show that this game could be in our library for such and such amount of time. What if that licensing agreement with Rockstar ends within, 10 years? A lot of y'all keep saying, you're going to be playing this game for the next 10 years, next 15 years. Y'all sound crazy as hell, by the way. But let's just say it ends within the next 2 to 5 years, 10 years. And because of that, Grand Theft Auto 6 is gone. What happens then? You don't own the game, just a license agreement. Just like how Sony don't own a game to Rockstar or to Grand Theft Auto 6, because that agreement ended, they won't be making no more money. That shit gone. It's just something to think about, bro. I don't know, man. Maybe I sound like a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too far out the box. I'm just saying. What KG say? Anything is possible, boy. Anything is possible, boy. Anything is possible. So don't think that this shit can't happen to you, man. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. But if you want to still stay ignorant to it, go ahead, be my guest. I ain't really too mad at it. But I try to buy as much physical as I can, man. Comics and vinyl. Comics is my least expensive hobby, and vinyl is probably outside of gaming, is my most expensive hobby. So yeah, man. Buy physical, bro. Buy as much physical as you can, because you won't be able to for the next gen consoles. I say boycott that shit. Don't buy the next gen consoles. Fuck it. Don't buy them. Just don't. Come over to PC, bro. It's better over here, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's better over here. Way better over here, man. Way more options, cheaper gaming. It's better over this side. Let's go ahead and get into the movies and TV. I've been watching a lot of Black Clover. I got back into it and I'm hooked again. I took like a year hiatus from watching Black Clover for whatever reason, just because it ain't no for whatever reason, but life and just focusing on other things. But when I take my hour breaks, my 2-hour breaks, or whatever the case may be for me to eat and stuff like that, prepare my food and eat it. I'll turn on I'll turn on some educational stuff first while I'm cooking and shit. And then while I'm eating, I turn on some Black Clover. And I eat for like an hour. And every episode's like 20 minutes. So I'm watching 4 episodes at a time. You feel me? Sometimes a couple more, cause the shit just been that good. Man, Black Clover is so fire. I don't watch as much anime as I want to, but I want to get the manga, bro. I want to get the manga for Black Clover. I think Black Clover might be one of my favorite animes of all time, man. I will have to come up with a top 5, not right now, but Black Clover is definitely in that, man. It's one of my favorites, bro. Out of all the anime that I've watched over the span of me being alive for 31 years, almost 32 years, coming up in a couple months, man, Black Clover is up there. That shit's so fire. Sometimes a little bit of the animation be a little, but for the most part though, that shit hard, man. That shit hard. Go watch Black Clover, man. They have a lot of the power of friendship type of thing going on, but as far as the main protagonist goes, it's about never giving up, working together as a team, and overcoming any obstacle that basically gets in your way and push past your limits. Push past them limits, man. And I feel like that's great messaging because, listen, I think that's one of the reasons why, because like the supporting cast is great. Y'all know I love a good show or a movie with a fire-ass supporting cast. Sometimes the supporting cast be much more important than the main protagonist a lot of the time. Like the main protagonist is very important, but the supporting cast helps form how the protagonist reacts through the storytelling of the show or the movie. You understand? Love the supporting cast of Black Clover, man. My favorite might be Captain Yami. I ain't even gonna lie, that nigga badass. My favorite Black Knights, or my favorite Magic Knights is the Black Bull. The Black Bulls, I love them. I ain't even gonna lie. Everybody in there got their own quirks. They all weird as fuck, but they know how to get the job done, man. I love this shit, bro. They basically talking community, working together, overcoming any obstacle. Look out for the ones that are less privileged than you. Look out for them. You understand what I'm saying? But nobody is above you. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody is on the even playing field. They preach equality on that motherfucker. Everybody's unique. Everybody the same. Asta, I love Asta just because he's a boy that was born with no magic. So like basically in the show Black Clover, everybody, a lot of people are born with magic. Some folks aren't. And Asta, his friend Yuno was born with magic, and Asta thought he was gonna get his, but he never did. Something happened. He ended up getting anti-magic, and he has a 5-leaf grimoire. They have like a 4-leaf clover grimoire, which is like, only the luckiest of the lucky get that motherfucker, and they end up being the strongest motherfuckers. And then you got the 5-leaf clover, you got the 5-leaf grimoire, and everybody have their own grimoire, which is a book that has a lot of spells in it that they can cast, that they've learned. They learn spells over time and shit like that. Like, listen, it's so fire. Like, even though Asta can be annoying because he's still a loudmouth brat or whatever, but you can see the character development within Asta. And also, too, he the pretty boy of the show. Like he the one that he quiet, he don't say much, but he's strong as fuck, and he gonna put his money where his mouth is every single time. And he is he's a rival of Asta, and they want to be the Wizard King. The Wizard King, that sound fucking fire, by the way. And that's what a lot of Magic Knights strive to be, is the Wizard King. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the shit just fire, bro. Go watch Black Clover. That's one of my favorite animes, man. And I'm like 115 episodes in right now, I think. Spoiler alert. But they was fighting the devil, the ones that basically took control over the humans, that killed all the elves. Yeah. He got his body back, but Yami, Asta, the elves, even the first Wizard King, they came back and they got on the devil ass. And that shit was fire, bro. That shit was fire. I love that fight. It was hard. I can't wait to see other. I don't know if this is gonna be like the end of the anime. Somebody in my chat was talking about how the manga just wrapped up, so I'm definitely gonna collect all Black Clover manga, all the volumes. I can't wait. I want to go and read through all that shit, man. So if y'all have not seen Black Clover, I highly recommend it, man. That's a fire ass show. I'm hooked. While I'm editing, I'm throwing on Black Clover. I'm throwing that shit on, man. It's hard, bro. It's hard. Like I said, I really like the messenger behind the show. Like I said, community, working together, look out for the least of those, the less privileged. Nobody is above you. We don't give a fuck about no nobles. They the same as everybody else because they bleed just like everybody else. Just working together, like it's camaraderie. You know, how that saying go? The water of the covenant is thicker than the blood of the womb or something like that. No. No, I said that backwards. The water of the covenant is thicker than the blood of the womb. It's thicker than those of the blood of the womb or something like that. The water of the covenant is thicker than the blood of the womb. Basically saying, that's how I go. Basically saying that just because that's your blood, that don't make you close. What makes you close is how you treat one another and who you call those family. So the water of the covenant, even though water ain't that thick, but that's your covenant, that's your road dog, that shit way thicker than the blood of the womb, than the person who is your family through DNA. You understand what I'm saying? Now if the DNA, if the blood is thick and that shit, and hey, good. You understand what I'm saying? But it's all about who you call family, who you truly believe is family. And that's what Black Clover is basically talking about. And I love that shit, bro. That shit hard, man. That shit hard. So go watch Black Clover today. You ain't gonna regret it. That shit fire. It's a slow burn at the beginning, but give it about 20 episodes, that shit gonna start teeing the fuck up. You're gonna be like, oh shit. And it's just up from there, man. It's just up from there. I've been watching a lot of more documentaries and stuff like that. I told y'all I've been wanting to get into that shit, man, and I'm doing it now. I know y'all keep seeing me like adjusting my do-rag. I like that shit to be like not perfect, but you know, in the middle. But I was watching I watched this, I think it was a like a series, and it's called The Meaning of Money. I believe it's like 5 to 8 episodes, and they talk about education, they talk about gambling, they talk about savings, they talk about on retirement, they talk about a plethora of things when it comes to the meaning of money. And one of the things that stood out to me, they said, I believe it was 30 or was it 60? 60 sounds like it's pretty too high. It's pretty too high. It's pretty damn high, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case. But they said that, I believe it's, I'm gonna say 60. 60% of Americans don't have $400 for an emergency. I believe is it 60 or is it 30? I'm gonna just go with 60. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But let's say it's between 30 and 60% of Americans do not have $400 in case of an emergency. $400. What's the percentage on 500? What's the percentage on 1,000? What's the percentage on 2,000? Crazy, but that's one of the things that stood out to me, man. The 401k plan, that was something that was made up by some guy. But basically, the 401k plan is good if you use it, but it's much worse than a pension plan. Basically, the saving is and investing is all in your hands. You just got to figure out if your company match. And if they do like a 3% match or whatever, take that shit, and however much you put in is what you get back at retirement. And when you're ready to take it out, it's taxed. Crazy work. gambling, how they do gambling. Oh my God, bro. It started in it started in New York, and then it moved over to Vegas, and it's just been up from there. Man, it's nasty, bro. Go watch The Meaning of Money. It's nasty work. Like certain things I've already known, but getting a different perspective on it, I was like, damn, you serious? A lot of shit that I did not know was going on out here. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking crazy. So go watch The Meaning of Money. It's on Netflix. I also watched The Plastic Detox. Crazy fucking work, man. It's also on Netflix. Basically talking about how much microplastics is in the water, is in our bodies. Basically talking about how it's making women and men infertile, right? Babies being born with plastics. Why certain babies are being born with deformities more now than ever, because of microplastics. Everything that we use, everything that we use, then they give off microplastics. So we put shit in the microwave. I haven't used a microwave in a very long time, but I don't really do things as far as plastic. Like the clothes I have on is plastic, but I'm getting my money up, and I will be buying cotton everything, my bed sheets, my blankets, that's gonna be 100% cotton. All the clothes that I wear is gonna be 100% cotton or silk. Like I'm not doing no more polyester shit, because it got parabens that can make you infertile. Like most men being born or that or around today, they have plastic in their balls, which is lessening their sperm count. You understand? Crazy. You know, it's fucking with the fertility of women. You understand? Like, and it's due to all of this exposure from plastics, bro. Microplastics. Like everything that we touch and use is surrounded by plastic. This shit is in our water like crazy. Like, so there's this woman on the documentary. I forgot her name, but she basically devoted her life to researching how plastics and microplastics affects the body. And she went to certain families, and she was like, okay, how often are you exposed to plastic? She looked around their house, because she goes to their house, she goes to their homes. She asked them what they trying to do. Are they trying to, and I believe it's families that are trying to get pregnant, but they can't. So she is linking microplastics to infertility and shit like that, because they have parabens and shit like that in it, and they give off like these certain things that's bad for our body, and it fucks us up. Like we have enough plastic. A lot of people have enough plastic in their brains to make a spoon. Like, come on. But you can lessen the amount of microplastics that's in your body. You can detox from that if you lessen the amount of microplastics that you use. So she basically was going around to these couples that wanted to have children but couldn't. And she looked around their home, and she like, damn, okay, they got plastics doing this, they got plastics doing that. What type of detergents do you use? What type of dishwashing liquid do you use? Cleaning products, what are they in? Like, all of this shit matters, right? Because it's the chemicals. Because not only we have microplastics in our bodies, but it's the chemicals that are making these plastics that are being given off within our bodies as well. So not only are the microplastics fucking with us, but it's the chemicals that we are using every day for cleaning, washing our clothes, whatever the case may be, that's fucking with us as well. So she basically tells them, get rid of all that shit. Hey, get rid of all that shit. Cut back on this. Don't eat out as much, because that shit is always in plastic, styrofoam and shit like that. Don't eat out as much. So a lot of the couples, they stop eating out. They start putting their food in jars and not plastic cups and shit like that. They eat out of more ceramic stuff. You understand what I'm saying? More stone bowls and cups and you know, shit like that. Like, they just drink out of things that aren't plastic. They lessen the use of a microwave, but if they are using the microwave, whatever they putting it in, it's You know, it's in the glass container. You feel me? Like how I warm my food up is in the oven. That's how I do it. And it come out decent every time. I'm not baking my shit, I'm just warming my food up. What else? The clothes that they wear. You know, like I say, a lot the polyester, that's plastic. What's the other shit? It's polyester and something else that our clothes be made. It's nothing but plastic, bro. That's it. With maybe a little bit of cotton. So she tell them to get rid of all that shit. She tell them to get rid of all that shit. They do. Come back after a certain amount of weeks because I didn't even notice. It takes 70 days to make new sperm. I didn't even know that. So that's pretty cool. Once that new sperm is created and, you know, they have a certain, I forgot the allotted amount of time that she gives them to you know, cut back on the plastic they using and shit like that. But a certain amount of time. Once all of that happens, she tests the guys for the sperm count. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, she give back the numbers like, oh, your shit done went down dramatically. You negative such and such in the microplastics that was in your body, or you lessened the amount by 700%, or your testosterone went up by 70, 80%, or whatever the case may be, right? Because the microplastics fucks with the men's testosterone and stuff like that too. Like, it's like, go watch the Plastic Detox, bro. You will learn a whole lot, and it'll really put more into perspective on like, damn, I am using plastic for such and such, such and such. Like I say, for me, when I meal prep, the top is plastic, and I want to get away from that as well. But the container itself is glass. When I meal prep, everything I meal prep it goes in glass, bro. I don't eat out as much, maybe once or twice a month. You know what I'm saying? If that, I cook most of my meals at home. I don't expose myself to plastics like that. Now, I'm looking, like I say, I need cotton bed sheets. You understand what I'm saying? Blanket sheets, all that shit. I need that. And I need 100% cotton clothes. 100% cotton. And I'm looking to, like I said, my whole wardrobe out to change. I'm just getting my money up so I can make that change. But the underwear, shirts, all that shit, nigga, do-rags, all that, it's about to be 100% cotton. I'm getting away from as much plastic as I possibly can. You know, what you use for your toothbrush, all that shit matter. Nigga, the toothpaste that I buy, that comes in glass. The mouthwash that I buy is PBA free or BPA free or whatever the case. It's free of all of that bullshit. The like a lot of the things that I buy ain't tested on animals. Like real shit. Like I take this shit serious, bro. On me, I really do. And I'm not trying to preach the gospel for y'all to do the same thing. But if you can make that change, you do that, man. So go watch the Detox. Go watch the Plastic Detox. It's on Netflix. You will have a whole, like, you're going to be awakened, bro. You're going to be like, damn, I didn't even know that. That shit crazy, man. That shit crazy. Go watch the Plastic Detox. And I'm gonna be watching a lot more of this stuff so I can come back and get this information and put y'all on, man, because it really is some interesting shit. It really is. And it just helps me be a better person. It helps me, you know, want to better my life and, you know, talk about this to those around me or talk about it to the pod to you. You understand what I'm saying? Because I do care about y'all, bro. I want y'all to live a better life, man. And these microplastics are fucking us up. You know, motherfuckers just think that they sick all the time just because of, you know, the change in the weather or they not getting enough vitamin C. It's a lot more things out here that's fucking us up. Shit that's in the air, the things that we wear, and most importantly, things that we eat. You understand what I'm saying? So just be more mindful of that shit and you know, make the changes where you can. You know, it ain't about being perfect, but it's about, and it's not about, we gotta die anyway. It's not about that. It's about the quality of your life while you're here. Well, you know what I'm saying? Well, we're also trying to make longevity. But while you're here, the longevity will come. So if that's the case, the quality of your life when you get up in age is going to matter. But of the choices that you make right now. So that's all I got to say on that, man. Me and my girl, we watched The Fallen. that has Denzel Washington in it, and Buddy from Roseanne, the husband from Roseanne. Forgot dude's name, but they got him in it, and shit, that's all who I can remember. And it was an okay movie. It was decent. So basically, spoiler alert. I talked about it last week, but it's about this detective. Denzel Washington, the main protagonist, he's a detective. And they was watching this man get the death penalty. They gassed him. And it was a demon that was basically, there was a demon that he was possessed by. He was looking to, and the demon was looking to take form of anybody else, possess anybody else. And anytime that he possessed somebody, he went on a fucking killing spree. He was killing folks in different people and in people's different bodies. And he was leaving some of the same messages, basically clues for Denzel Washington's character. Forgot his name in the movie. What was that nigga name? I forgot his name, man. But anyways, he basically was luring him so that way he can kill Denzel Washington's character. Don't know why, that really wasn't explained, but the demon, anybody that he touched, he could take forms of anybody else, man. It was crazy. So I'm not gonna go too deep into it because I can't talk about it without spoiling it. So if you are interested in that, go watch The Fallen, man. Make sure y'all stay hydrated though. No, I gotta drink some water during. Mother be yapping. As far as books, I am on chapter 10, chapter 9 or chapter 10 of The Changing World Order by Ray Dalio. I think I fully understand why an empire falls and rises, right? Let me not say I fully understand because we're gonna be talking about I think chapter 10 or 11. I think chapter 11. I believe chapter 11 is gonna talk about the fall of America, basically, and why it's falling. And I can't wait till I get to that because it's a lot of things that was stated in that book that's going on from previous timelines, from previous countries and governments that's going on right now with America. And it's a lot happening all at once. But I think I fully understand it now. Let me not say fully understand it, but I have a much better understanding. And it's simple. It's cycles that cause this shit, but it's way more complicated than that. So let's just start with the Dutch, because I don't know why I'm fully retaining this, but this is part of the book that I'm fully retaining. But the Dutch, they are the ones who invented capitalism. I did not know that, but they invented capitalism back in the 1600s. And they invented the first company called, it was the Dutch India something company, or Dutch India company. It was something like that. But it was where people can go and invest. It's basically they invented the first stock market. They invented the stock market. They was the first ones to do that shit. So they invented capitalism, they invented the stock market, and it worked out for a while for them, but you can see where the change started to shift, right? So basically, the rise and the fall of an empire is, to put it in simple terms, is greed. Motherfuckers get greedy, man. They have so they had the tangible dollar. It was called the guilder. That's what the Dutch had. They had the guilder. And what was it, a dollar? It was like coins. It was like silver or whatever. It was silver coins, and it represented whatever the current, it represented however much the price was at the time. So like, this coin can buy you such and such. Like, how we got 25 cents, and when we have that represented with the quarter, this, that, and the third, that's basically how they was. But it was called the guilder. And the guilder was very strong. There was a rising empire. They was the first reserve currency, I believe. I believe they was the first reserve currency because of capitalism and shit like that. And they was doing good. They was investing in education and military and shit like that. But motherfuckers started to get too greedy. The investors, they was investing more than they could chew. the military, which a lot of spending was going towards military. That sound familiar, don't it? And if they were spreading themselves too damn thin, and they was basically imploding, they couldn't keep up with the amount of debt that folks was borrowing. Inflation was hitting like a motherfucker, and as the military started, and as the funding started to get weak because folks was over leveraging and shit, the military started to get weak, and that in turn started the rise of other empires. I believe it was the rise of the British Empire after that, and before the British Pound, before the Great British Pound became right before the Great British Pound became the world reserve currency. So when you think about it, and all of the existence of humanity, this is still a fairly new thing. Capitalism is young as hell. When you think about how old it is, from the 1600s, and the stock market and shit like that, like what we have now, like I said, it's just cycles of what's going on, bro. And motherfuckers got too greedy, over leveraged, military started to get weak. You had the rise of another empire. They was doing the same thing that the Dutch was doing at the beginning of their reign, or at the beginning of their rise, and the economy got strong. Everything started to collapse within the Dutch. You know, the stock market, the company that was investing in. So money was leaving from the Dutch Empire and going into other markets that people can, you know, basically make interest on. And, you know, everything. And that shit sound familiar, don't it? We're going to start to see that shit once the stock market starts to collapse. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, probably. But yeah, they were starting to see a collapse, and the guilder ended up being no more. Then you had the rise of the Great British, the British Empire, the Great British Pound. Then you start to see the fall of them, basically due to the same cycles. Then you had the rise of America. Now we see the fall of America. We're witnessing that in real time. Now we see the rise in China, which they are going to be the next global superpower, which I believe it's just gonna be an even playing field. You understand what I'm saying? When it comes to like global powers and shit like that, you ain't gonna need to just trade in one currency. You can trade in multiple currencies. Sound familiar, don't it? Put two and two together, man. So yeah, basically that's all I've been reading. I am almost done with that book. I have 5 more chapters left, and then I'll be done, and I can start reading things that I really want to read. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm strictly doing this for the information so I can pass this down and spread it to y'all, bro. So yeah, man, good book though. Ray Dalio, Changing World Order is a good book. It's just boring. That's all. It's just a little boring. But I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more though. I am. Now that I'm getting towards the tail end of the book, not because I'm almost finished, but because this information I'm gathering is a little bit more interesting. Now let's go ahead and get into the music. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't heard no new music. It's been a lot of music that came out last week and this week, but I haven't heard no new music, man. I'm still listening to, let me go and change the little camera for y'all. I'm still listening to some of the same shit. I'm still listening to Chris Crack. I'm still listening to Pompeii Utility. Over the last week and a half, I've been going back and listening to some old Mac Miller, because I haven't been listening to him all that often this year. MF Doom, I've been going back and listening to a lot of MF Doom just because he's one of my favorite artists of all time. I can never get enough of his music or any of his raps, any of his bars. Still listening to Mike. I'm still listening to Surrender by Navy Blue. I'm still listening to, because, you know, I don't move on from albums too quickly. I tend to stay with some music for a little while, and then I move on to the next couple things. I'm still going back and listening to Ancient History by Wiki. Let me see, what else? Oh, I'm still going back and listening to 800 Degrees by 12K Gotti. That album is hard. I'm still going back and listening to that. So I ain't been listening to no new music, so I can't really put y'all on to nothing. Remember the guy I told y'all, Fahim the God? He just released 2 albums, I believe, last week and this week. He always dropping music. I haven't listened to it yet because, again, motherfuckers just dropping too frequently, bruh. Bodie James just dropped another album with Nicholas Craven. Like, this shit just don't stop, man. This shit just don't stop. So, man, it's crazy, but the music scene is crazy, but I'm loving it. as a hip hop fan. I'm glad that I'm able to listen to all of this music. I'm glad that a lot of artists are controlled by their labels or the lack thereof. You understand what I'm saying? They can put out however much music they want to. They can put out whatever they want to. And for a lot of these artists, it is quality. It is quality music, man. I'm loving this time in music because I can hear so many different artists at a lot of different times in their life in their lifetime, and hear a bunch of different music all at once, man. With all of these people that's dropping music, like, man, I can't wait for First in Flight. When Mavi drop, he dropping another album real soon. He ain't dropped last year, but he gonna drop another one this year. And he dropped a little EP last year. Was it this year? Or was it last year? Let me go ahead and check since I'm already on Spotify. The Pilot. Oh, he did. Yeah, he dropped an album last year. It's called The Pilot. And then First in Flight, that's another album he dropping this year. So yeah, man, go listen to The Pilot, by the way, if you haven't heard it. I thought he dropped this in 2024, but he dropped Shadowbox in 2024, which is another great album. Go listen to Mavi, bro. One of my favorite. He's gonna go down as one of my favorite artists of all time. If not already, I ain't gonna lie to you. If not already, Mavi don't miss. Mavi don't miss. Mike is up there as one of my favorites of all time. Mavi, Earl. You already know Earl. He been one of my favorites for the past 10 years now. A little longer than that, really. Whenever he dropped Doors, that was like, oh, he one of my favorites. Neonte gonna go down one of my favorites of all time. Like Sideshow, like Solly Mata, like all these people, they gonna go down as some of my favorite artists of all time. I'm already knowing because they drop quality music, man. If you have not heard them, I highly recommend you go listen to them, bro. I'm always gonna tout them. Overcast is another one. I'm always gonna tout them, bro. Any chance that I get, because these are young artists that I feel like a lot of people aren't willing to give them a chance because of their style and their music. But listen, if you love rap, you love hip hop, this shit ain't gonna bother you. They're great beat pickers and they can rap their ass off. That's all I need. Great beats, rap your ass off. You wanna do some experimental shit here and there too? Do that. I'm gonna listen to it. As long as it sounds good, I'm gonna support it every single time. So go listen to that shit, man. Go listen to them. Again, I'm still listening to Pompeii Utility. And yeah, man, it's just a great time to be a music lover, bro. A great time to be a music lover. Now, I don't have a song picked out for y'all already like how I normally do to, that I can play for the pod to put y'all on too, but I think I'm going to choose one by random. I don't know if I've done this song. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do this one. It's called Jammers Anonymous with Mavi and Neonte. This is their song. I'm going to play this shit. I think this song is so fire. YouTube, I apologize in advance. You won't be able to hear it. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it right now. My bad, I was muted. And that was Jammers Anonymous by Mavi and Neonte. Listen, that shit was so fucking fire. Last year, I played this song to the damn ground. But I could still put this song on and have it on repeat over and over and over again and not have no issue with it. Definitely one of my favorite songs. I believe this song came out last year. Did it come out last year? Let's check. Yeah, it came out last year. It came out last year in July. So damn, almost around this time it came out, July 22nd of last year. Fire, bro. Fire. Love that song, Jammers Anonymous. Go listen to Neonte. Go listen to Mavi today. They don't miss. They don't, bro. They really don't. That's my shit right there, bro. I love that song. I ain't gonna hold you. I can't wait to hear more songs from them. I'm not even gonna lie. Neonte, that nigga, he's different. He one of them artists, bro, that's gonna show his ass when he on a feature. I don't know, or not, because this is their song. I don't want to say that's a feature or whatever, but like, he one of them artists, when he on a song with somebody else, he gonna show his ass. He did it on Water with Overcast. He did it on Triangle Offense with Mavi and Sideshow. He did it on 2K24 with Mike. He did it again on Pinball 2. What that song they got? What's that song they got, bro? It's on Pinball 2. Hold on, let me check real quick.
bruh, Neonte gonna show his ass every time. I don't know what it is, but he's one of them artists, bruh. You know when Lil Wayne be featuring on a song, or he on a song with somebody else, he be going like he's out of worldly. That's Neonte, bruh. Neonte be talking his shit. I fuck with Neonte heavy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really do. He is one of them ones, man. Don't sleep on him. Like, he raw as hell when he rapping alone. But for some reason, it's like that nigga go Super Saiyan every time. Like, he charging the fuck up every time. He on a song with somebody else. He show his ass. He one of them artists, bro. You can't sleep. You can't. Yeah. It's like let me see. Who else be doing that shit? It's not many where I feel like they be doing that shit. Conway the Machine is another one. He's another one that do that shit. Oh my God, when he on a song with somebody else, like he be rapping his ass off when he alone. But when he on a song with somebody else, it's just like something just open. I don't know, bro. Neonte, I'm telling you, go listen to him, bro. He's not one to sleep on. I hope that nigga never stop rapping ever. He young as fuck, but I hope he rapping till he's 60, nigga. I'm gonna be shit. When he's 60, I'm gonna be what, 70 something? I'm gonna still be there listening. I'm telling you. I hope that nigga be rapping forever, bro. I hope he never stop. Neonte one of them ones. Neonte is one of them ones, boy. He be going dumb. Yeah. That's my shit. Though. Jammers Anonymous, man. Go listen to that shit, bro. So that's it I got for the music, bro. I ain't got no miscellaneous news for y'all. Normally I have something that be like, damn, this happened, that happened, but I ain't got nothing for y'all this week, bro. So we gonna move on. I know there's a lot of other crazy shit that be going on. If y'all have some things that y'all want me to talk about, please send it my way, because I want to do my research, and if I have a understanding and I know I can articulate myself on it, best believe I'm gonna talk about it. Now you already know, man, we gonna finish this off with my favorite portion of the pod, and that's investing. Listen, y'all know I don't play about this investing shit, the saving shit. I don't fuck around. And I'm not gonna play with you. I'm not gonna fuck around with you either. Like, I'm not gonna play the radio with you. I'm not gonna kick it and be nice about it. None of that shit. Like, man, hey, listen. Make sure y'all invest, bro. Make sure y'all invest. Make sure that y'all save. It's the only way that you will be able to get out of the rat race. You understand? And you don't want to be there when you're 60, 70, 80. Now, if you one of the ones that ain't got no problem with working till they 60, 70, 80, I'm not talking to you. But for those of you who don't want to work when you're 50, 60, 70, especially if you're in your early 20s, you can retire in your mid 30s. I'm telling you. If you just start right now, and if you go to school for a trade, go to school, get a trade. By the time you 30, you might have your own business. By the time you're 35, you retired. You know why? Because from 18 or whenever you got the job to 2018, however, those next 10 to 12 years, you invest and you just let it do its thing, compound and shit like that every week, every month. You will be sitting lovely, 30, 35 years old, and you can take care of a family, take care of others. Whatever you want to do, you'll be set because you have assets basically funding your lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? If you still want to continue to work, you can. That's just extra money being piled on top of that shit, right? So I say all this to say this, man. This is how you start investing. You start small. You start today. You don't wait, because you don't want to be in the same position you are in now 10 years from now. You don't want to do that. So with that being said, if you want to have a leg up, if you want to have some money to fall back on, you want to have like a cushion, make sure that you invest. And this is how you start. You start small. You open up an account. You can do it on your phone. You ain't got to go to a bank. You ain't got to go to a brokerage and none of that shit. You open up an account for whatever brokerage, right? Robinhood, Fidelity, what's another one? It's another one. Vanguard, M1 Finance. Whoever you decide to open your account with, you open your account. They're gonna give you a minimum. Probably start with $5, $10. Invest that $5 to $10 into whatever stock you done did your research in. Now you can be lazy and you can do the S&P 500 that's only being led by tech stocks and shit like that. That's on you. I'm not not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, but I'm just saying you can if you want to. You know that shit is when the AI will burst, them tech stocks gonna crash like a bitch. But you could do it into a dividend or whatever the case may be, right? Me, I would invest $10 into a dividend first. You understand what I'm saying? Just to get that compounding interest growing. And then you can do the drip payment, which is dividend reinvestment period or program or whatever the case may be. Every time you get paid from that dividend, it gets reinvested right back into that asset, right? Now you can start off with whatever, growth stocks and dividends, but for me, I do a dividend. You let that shit grow, or you can do a life insurance policy. You can start with either or. You can do a life insurance policy, but I'm gonna say why for a life insurance policy in a few. Then once you get a certain amount of money in that dividend, you can either take that money, you can invest it into another asset. Like for me, I do crypto. I take my dividends and I invest that shit right into crypto. I do it, and I'm about to invest a lot more money into SATA because they do daily dividend payments and shit like that. I'm gonna invest a lot more money into that, and my high risk dividend payments that pay me weekly, and then and my monthly joint. So that way, monthly, weekly, and daily, I'm always getting a check, and I'm throwing that shit right into crypto. I don't even fuck around. Then once whatever you invest in from your dividend payments, you allow the investments go up. If you are investing in crypto or other stocks, I'm just saying crypto because this is what I'm doing. Then you take profits. You take profits, and you take your initial investment out. Take your initial investment out. So you invested $500 and it went up, and you made $1,000, you take that $500 out, now you sitting on house money. You let that house money run up, you can take profits off the top, so now you sitting on $510 or $700 because you took a couple extra $100 off the top. Or or it went from $500 to $2,000. You take out $1,500, you still got $500 left sitting in there, however you want to do. You take that money and you can either put it into a life insurance policy, or you can fund your Roth IRA account, or your IRA account, or whatever account that you have for retirement and shit like that, right? Now let's go to the life insurance policy. If you were to go the life insurance policy route, you can borrow from that. Whatever, if you have a life insurance policy, you might have to have a minimum before you can start to borrow from it. But whatever that minimum is, you go over that minimum, and say you have $3,000 in that, or let's just say $1,500 in that life insurance policy that you can borrow from. You can borrow from the life insurance policy at, I don't know, let's say 3.9%. That's the 3.7%. That's the interest rates that I was given. You can borrow from that. You could put it into an asset that's gonna, go up over time, like cryptocurrency. You understand what I'm saying? That'll go up, that you research, that you convicted in, and you ain't got to worry about paying it back because it'll come off the death benefit. But you do want to pay that loan back because you want that death benefit to go to your children or whoever you got it, or whoever your beneficiary is, right? That the price go up in that asset. That price go up in that asset. Now you can pay back that loan. Now you sitting on free money. Now you have $1,500 going back into your account plus interest. So you might have $1,700 in your life insurance policy now. Plus you got a free $1,500 in crypto. Right? Because your money doubled and you took the initial investment out, you paid it back, plus the interest or whatever. Now you sitting on free money. Now you got free crypto. Now you can either take something off the top again, fund your dividends. Right? You can fund your dividends and then repeat that process all over again. Now you have extra money that you can put into your dividend payments that's going to pay you more over time. That's compounding itself. Right? Now, once you get to a certain time, like 10 years from now you looking up and you making $2,000 extra a month that you can use for vacation or whatever the case may be. Or if you don't want to put your life insurance policy, if you don't want to borrow from your life insurance policy and put it into, if you do, okay, hold on, let me slow down. I'm speaking too damn fast. If you do borrow from your life insurance policy, but you don't want to put into crypto, you can buy that dividend. You understand me? You can buy a dividend paying asset. Now you can use the money, but make sure you calculate how long it'll take for you to pay that back. But you could take that dividend money, you can pay that loan back off of the money that you get from the dividend without using any of your extra money. If you so choose to, you could pay that dividend, pay your loan right on back. And then once you're ready, now that the loan is paid back, now you have more money being reinvested back into the dividend. You understand what I'm saying? You can do it that way. The main thing that I want you to take from this is compounding interest. Compounding interest is a powerful tool. It's the eighth wonder of the world. And you can retire early if you start right now. All it takes is for you to start right now, bro. Don't wait next week. Don't wait to next month. Don't wait until that snack that you was gonna buy, whatever that snack was, that motherfucker can go into an investment. Now is the time more than ever to cut back. I was just watching this video, The Modern Investor, from The Modern Investor, and he was basically saying, whatever you don't have in your house, whatever you have in your house, get, and you don't need it, you ain't touched it, you ain't used it in a while, you just have an attachment to it based off of sentimental value, get rid of it. If you have things in your house that you can sell, that you can get rid of it. Create that extra cash flow so that way you have more to save or invest. Get rid of that shit. That Suzy Q that you was gonna buy, that donut, that cake, that cookie, that $2, you can save that extra $2, $5, $7, $10, however much you was gonna pay for that dessert, and that can go into an investment. That can go into your savings account. That can go into your Roth IRA account. That's more money that you could put into your 401k. That's more money that you could put into your life insurance policy. I'm saying all of these investment tools because a lot of y'all are using these investment tools. Me is Roth IRA, life insurance policy. Those are the investment tools that I use for long-term and for me to borrow safely. And I say borrow safely because of the life insurance policy. I can borrow safely. You can borrow from the crypto, but it's not safe because it's too volatile, right? Say you borrow from XRP today, and that shit dropped below your LTV. Now it's gonna start liquidating your XRP because, and if you don't want it to be liquidated, you would have to buy more of that XRP to keep the LTV up, which is the loan to value ratio. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day, right? That money, that FU money that you put to the side, maybe you could say fuck the FU money for the month and put that into an investment. The extra $150, extra $50, $200, however much you put to the side for FU money. Maybe you can say, this month, I'm gonna just take more walks. I'm gonna exercise a little more. I'm gonna do things walking distance. I'm gonna have more free things that I'm gonna do for myself. If I can find them, if it's by me, and I'm not gonna do shit this month, but just save this money and invest it. That's it. That's it. And watch how much it changed, because that's gonna help out so much. And you're gonna be like, damn, I should have been doing this shit. Why haven't I been doing it? But that's how you can start, man. I also want to say this. I've seen on TikTok, there's this woman, and I seen this, the title was, it's on TikTok Live. It's "You cannot financial literacy your way out of poverty," and you most definitely can. Because without financial literacy, you're not gonna know what to do with the money that you have extra. Say you cut back on a lot of things, even if you are living in poverty, but if you are able to save, and you know what I'm saying? If you are able to save and invest in shit like that, financial literacy can definitely help you get out of poverty. Why? Because you will know what to do with the money. You know how it works. You will know that it's just energy, and energy like to stay current. And as long as it's moving around and it's growing and stuff like that, it wants to be put to work. But if you know exactly what to put your money in so that way it can work for you, that's where the financial literacy come from. Creating a budget, that's financial literacy. You understand what I'm saying? So it definitely does matter. That shit definitely can help you. I'm doing it. So that's neither here nor there, man. I just want to say that. So that's basically how you start investing, bro. You start small. You can let it compound the interest within a dividend or whatever the case may be, or you can invest it into a crypto. That crypto go up. Then you start to build the empire from the ground up, man. You put it in more dividends, or you put in your life insurance policy that the dividends is paying you weekly, daily, monthly. You reinvest that money, or you take that money and buy more assets with it. Have a life insurance policy that you can invest in. You borrow from your life insurance policy at no risk of liquidation, tax-free. That's another thing, tax-free, small percentage of interest. You ain't gotta pay it back because it come off the death benefit. You buy another asset that you know that's gonna go up, especially if you're borrowing from your life insurance policy in the bear market, which I'm doing. I'm gonna get all the information and shit like that, and I'm gonna borrow from my life insurance policy sometime during the summer months, and I'm gonna sit on that cash until things get lower, and I'm gonna go all in, and then when shit go up, I'm gonna pay that shit back. Borrow from your life insurance policy, buy your asset go up, you pay back that loan, and you don't have to worry about doing it if you don't want to, but you pay back that loan, and then the extra money off the top, you can put into a savings account, you can put into a Roth IRA, you can buy dividend paying assets, and now you have more money coming in every single month, every single week. And then before you know it, you look up in 5 years, you have dividend payments coming from here. If you are into crypto and you know about staking protocols, you staking a whole lot of money over here. If you you have enough money that you gather up from your investments, and you bought some property, now you collecting rent every single month. You understand what I'm saying? Or you have all of these things all at once working together. Now you look up, you're making $3,000 to $5,000 to $7,000 a month because you have payments coming from here, you have payments coming from here, you getting yield from here, you're lending out your money, you're collecting rent, you are renting out your land for people to grow their stuff on or to live on, whatever it is. You have all the different avenues of money coming towards your way. And now you're gonna look up and be like, damn, I'm making $4,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month. I can retire right now. I can quit my job. I can go on extra vacations. I can take more PTO. Hell, I can call off work for the rest of the week if I want to at no consequences, because why? You have other money that's covering the money that you're not making, that you're not trading time for, Let me say that again. You have extra money coming in from your dividends and shit like that, or from other revenue sources. If you were to call off of work 2 days out this week, it ain't gonna hurt you none on your check. If it is short, if that check come in short, you be like, oh, it's okay, I'm not worried about it. You know why? Because you got money coming in on a monthly basis that can cover your days of you calling off. You feel me? This is the power of investing. This is the power of compounding interest. This is the power of having more revenue sources. So a lot of motherfuckers think that, to have different sources of revenue, like several different sources of income, you gotta go work and shit like that for it. Nah, if you want to, you can. If you gotta go get another job and shit like that, that's another source of income, but you still trading until time for money. Once that money start buying more time, you're gonna be like, damn, I called off 3 days this week. and ain't give my job an explanation why. The check gonna be short, but I don't really care because I still got $3,000 coming in this month. So, it's okay. It is what it is. And then that extra money that you get from those dividends and your other revenue sources, you can use that to reinvest. Help you with your compound interest, help you invest more aggressively. So listen, do not sleep on investing, man. It's more important now than ever. If you are privileged enough to have some extra disposable income, don't go spending on them snacks. Don't give in to temptation and spend that money. Spend that money. Invest it. Go save it. Go find an account, a savings account that has a high yield, a high interest on return, and go put that money in a savings account. And then that money that you're getting from your savings account, you can have that go back into your account, or you can take it off the top. Like I made $7 last month, $7.35 last month. You know what I did with that $7.35? I invested it. I invested it. Remember at the beginning of the year, I said, I'm making, I made like $4 on such and such, $3. I took every month, I'm getting extra money on my savings account. Every month, that extra money, I'm investing that shit. I'm investing the fuck out of it. Every month. And I don't skip a beat. You know why? Because when the prices go up, all that money that I was investing, that extra money that I was getting on my interest, that I was investing every month, that's going right back into my savings account. That's going right back to my savings account. So I'm gonna be making $100 a month going into my savings account very soon. And guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take that $100, I'm gonna invest it. And then I'm gonna put $200 back into my savings. So I'm just saying, man, just start small and eventually it's going to grow. It's all about consistency. It sounds as cliche as it sounds. It's all about consistency. That's it. That's all you need when it comes to investing and saving. It's just stay consistent. That's it. Consistently invest over time as often as you can, 50 a week, 10 a day, 10 a week, 100 a month, 300 a month, 1,000 a month, or whatever you can afford to invest or save. You invest that shit, you save that shit, and you do it on a consistent basis. Whatever consistency looks like to you. Again, whether that's a month, 2 days, a monthly, weekly, daily, whatever consistency looks like to you, you take that and you keep going and you invest with that shit, bro. You save that money. You can create different sources of avenues, of revenue sources without having to go get another job. Especially if the job that you have right now is covering all your expenses and stuff like that, keeping your bills paid. You can build other revenues of income over time. That's gonna take money. But you can do it over time. And any windfalls that you get. You understand what I'm saying? Whether you get an inheritance from something or you get a raise, that extra money, you take that and you save it or you invest it. Keep the same lifestyle if you can. You save it and you invest it. And that money's gonna grow even faster. So that's basically how you invest, man. Start now. You can retire early if you start now. And you don't want to miss out on this opportunity, bro, because we are in a new age of investing, a new age of doing things, and we don't have to rely on anybody else to do the investing for us, and we don't have to rely on anybody else to give us the information on what we should invest in or creating a budget and how we should manage our money. We don't need nobody for that. We can do it all ourselves. And give it 3 months. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna say 2 weeks. Do it for 2 weeks. Don't go out to eat. Don't spend the money on no snack that you normally do, and see how much money you save after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you're gonna be like, damn, I could say even more than this monthly. It's gonna change you. I'm telling you, it's gonna change you. You're gonna make wiser decisions, more thoughtful decisions. You're gonna be more keen on, do I need this? Do I not need it? Is it necessary? You're gonna start asking yourself more of these questions. You're gonna be like, nah. And if you were willing to spend that money and you didn't, take that money that you were willing to spend and go invest it. And then look how much money that you have invested or saved at the end of the month. It's gonna shock you. No matter if it's extra $20, extra $30, $200, $400, that's extra money that you didn't even see because you wasn't taking the proper precautions to save and invest or cut back on things. A little bit of discipline, whole lot of consistency. It will change you. So that's it, man. That's all I got to say. I'm done. Hopefully y'all, y'all take the gems that I be dropping for y'all, man, and y'all put that shit to use. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the conversation when it comes to the music, the movies, the TV, all of that good shit. I really do appreciate y'all for listening and coming through. This is always a lot of fun. Thank y'all so much for just being here, man, and listening to me yap about all this crazy shit, bruh. This has been episode 71 of the Von Talks podcast. Y'all make sure y'all exercise, drink some water, and fucking relax. And I'll most definitely talk to y'all on the next one. Peace.